No, I can't. Hello, how are we doing?
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Please give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and see my screen as well. Okay. So I think we can all see me and hear me as well. Good evening once again, and thank you very much for joining us for today's CBDA info session. My name is Danielle Onyakupisi, and I'm happy to welcome you all on behalf of the team. We are privileged to have Mr. Francis Kakari here with us this evening. He will serve as both our facilitator and our speaker for tonight, and he will guide us through all the steps through the course, the steps and everything about the course. He will share valuable insights with us this evening. Please join me in giving Mr. Francis Kakari a warm welcome. Mr. Francis, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you so much, Danielle. Guys, good evening to us all. I hope we are doing well. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. Today we actually have a very educative package for you. I think for some time now you've been hearing about CBDA. We want to take our time to explain what the course is about and also give you certain let me say, pointers as to how to make very good use of this course, if that is okay. All right, so let's just dive straight into it. Very first thing I would want to say, and I know at this level we all agree to the fact that the world is producing more data ever than before, right? And at this point, we will all agree that most organizations are also trying to take advantage of the fact that we are in the data era, that they want to utilize the data in making effective decisions. Now, when it comes to the part where people are performing the data analysis, and people who have also like very good understanding of how the business work, we would find out that that is not a problem. But where the problem is coming up is to find out people who would actually lead the initiative to get to the extent that data that is being produced is being utilized or being turned into decision making. And that is one of the reasons why this course is being rolled out. So we are going to take our time to actually digest what the course is about. We are going to look at the value it actually gives you as as a participant or someone who has registered. And the most importantly, we are going to walk you through how we are going to serve you or how we are going to impact you or lead you into making sure you are able to make very good use of this certification that we are talking about. All right, good. So the very first thing I would want to first talk about are some very quick rules that I would want to share with us. So please, during the in the course of this presentation, I would want to encourage us to always make sure we stay muted. We can be very interactive, sending emojis and all that. It's actually accepted, but please make sure you are muted. We would actually give you a space or time for you to ask all the relevant questions you do have. Also, make sure your videos are turned off. We usually do have this lag in the system once people actually turn on their videos. So at this point, I'm going to be the only one whose video will be on until we get to the question time where you can either, where we would specially ask you to either turn on your videos or just show by hands if you have any questions. Now, we will try to work within the time frame that is in the next 45 minutes. We will try as much as possible to finish this presentation in the next 45 minutes. Now, if it's only going to prolong when we would have people who would want to ask questions or get to know more about it. So feel free to either send us your questions via the comment section, or we are going to give you another channel, let's say through our WhatsApp message. So maybe in the duration of this course, you don't get to um, ask the question or you go think about it, but yet you do have some question you want to shoot up. We are going to give you a WhatsApp line. You can actually message or even call us 24/7. We are there to actually answer any questions you have in terms of the course we are rolling out. All right, let's quickly discuss the agenda for today. So, we are going to talk about CBDA, chiefly about CBDA, and also how we at Blossom Pro are ready to assist you to make sure you attain that certification. All right, we are also going to show you what help we are going to give you in terms of the examination, how to build you and get you ready for this exams, and also we are going to give out some few study tips at the tail end of this session. So please do make sure you stay tuned. If you know someone who would be interested, if you know someone who you are in the duration of this course you believe is going to be very beneficial to them, please do not hesitate to send them the link to join this session and all their questions that all the information they need to know about the certification would be communicated in due course. Now, as I stated and from the beginning, if you do have any question as we are going along, please do well to put those questions in the comment section. We will be ready to answer them. That is number one. Or if you want to send them via WhatsApp, the number is on your screen. That is 020-624-8193. 020-624-8193. We are always on the standby to answer whatsoever question that you have concerning either the cohort, the course, or whatsoever you need the understanding in. All right. So before we jump into CBDA, I want to introduce to you Blossom Pro. Now, Blossom Pro is actually an initiative that we brought up, and the main goal is that we want to actually equip professionals, people who are either, let's say, in the working space, people who are working with data, people who would want to, in the near future, enter into the data space or build their understanding in let's say any analytics tool and all that. Our whole goal is to make sure we actually equip you with globally recognized competencies. So competencies that are globally recognized. Not only that, we also want to make sure you use that competency to actually apply in any analytics initiative in order to solve real business problem or let's say support data-driven decision making. The whole understanding here is that most, as a result of the data that is being generated, insights are being generated and all that. But the whole goal of any analysis process is to make sure that the end result of the insight that is gotten is actually flows into the decision we are making. It actually becomes the foundation for whatever process or let's say business um, business ideology we would want to pursue. The whole idea is that we become very competent in doing that. We have a lot of people with the technical skills out there, but when it comes to people actually frontiering the whole analytics initiative, it becomes problematic. And that is what Blossom Pro seeks to solve. Our whole ideology is to help you map out all the processes involved when it comes to business data analytics. Now, to do that, our whole goal is to affiliate ourselves with institutions, or let's say, with institutions that do have these um, let's say, leverage or do have this foundation to help us push our participants to this global space. That is the whole idea. And we actually found no other than in the Institute of International Business Analysis, that is the IIBA. This is a globally recognized institution that its own or its main goal is to create or standardize what is the best practice when it comes to business analysis. What is the best practice when it comes to business analytics, and what employers should expect from employees who actually are into the analytics space. And that is one reason why we, as Blossom Pro, we thought it wise to, partner with them so that they do help our participants or those that we have actually trained to actually gain those global competency. All right, to be able to be valuable no matter, let's say, the industry they find themselves as analysts. All right, good. So let's talk a little bit about IIBA. Let's look at what they do, the services they render, and why they are the ideal partner for the vision that we have. The very first thing you would want to talk about them is that number one, as I stated from the beginning, they actually provide world standard practice, right? And knowledge, in terms of knowledge, skills, that is considered a business analyst work, let's say a business data analyst work. They actually offer that standardized practice. That is what actually puts them ahead of other certification institutions. All right. They've also been in the business for over 20 years, and they've been leading the space in that time frame that they are. And the whole idea is that they are not doing it on their own. They have experts on board, people who have actually manned this position before. People, so I'm not just talking about working professionals, I'm also talking about professional, like professors in the business field. They've actually brought them together to actually create this knowledge hub or this understanding, which is actually seen as the best practice, especially when you go out there. All right. And they have over 30,000 members worldwide. So if somebody will ask themselves, why is it that they've been here for 20 years and they just have like 30,000 people in the under their space? The whole idea is they make sure that people they release into the space are of high quality, right? And they do not also select anybody to teach their resources and all that unless you have let's say all the needed tools, people who have actually certified with them before they even give you the leverage to say teach our course. And because Blossom Pro, we actually have our lead facilitator like certified in the field, that actually gave us the leverage to also be able to um teach this course as we speak. Now, the one thing about them is that they've actually owned chapters, all right, around the world. So what they do is that if they find that in a particular region there are more certified personnel in the business data analytics field, what they tend to do is that they actually open a chapter, right? And the chapter actually is to create a networking system of all certified personnel. And one thing too about that networking is that once they are actually creating a conference, an international conference, let's say, as I speak to you, there is one actually about to happen in Poland, right? So the whole idea is that all these chapters they do have an opportunity to attend this international conference, and the whole ideology is to create a network or expose you to people who have been in the space, who could be your mentor, who could walk you through what best initiatives you should take as a certified business data analyst. And that is what makes this certification so valuable. It's not just about the certification they are handing over to you, but they are actually helping you to get yourself connected to this network of professionals, people who are in the working space. All right. people who have actually written the exams, passed, who have actually also utilized this ideology and have received any promotion at work. These people, this organization actually give you that exposure to them to be utilized them. All right. Now, as I stated from the beginning, they don't just run one certification, but we as Blossom Pro, our ideology is to train data professionals, not just to occupy the technical, let me say, the operational space, but to get them into managerial positions. So you are not just conducting the analysis, you actually man the whole analytics process. And we would actually be, through this info session, we would actually um, try to differentiate between what it means to be equipped in analytics and also be equipped in analysis. We would actually get into that so that you would understand what it means or the value behind getting certified with these people. Now, this is what we thought to be ideal to run. That is the business data analytics certification. Now, this certification, as I stated from the beginning, is number one, internationally, is globally recognized because of the people behind it, right? Because of the network they have around the world. If you get certified, you become a member and sorry, if you get certified, you become a part of the team, right? And we are also going to take our time to walk you through the process in order to earn that membership card with them. So the next question is, what does it mean to be certified? When you get the certification, what does it mean to you personally? What does it also mean to the organization to have their employees certified? What does it mean to them? Number one, they are saying that to be certified, it recognizes your ability to effectively execute analysis related work in support of business analytics initiative, right? So wherever you actually send this certification, you have that credibility, you have that um, trust that you have gone through the IIBA standard training, right? People trust you more because of the name that the business data IIB has been able to actually make for itself. I would actually encourage everyone on this platform, if you do have the time and the chance, I'll just go to their website and you would find interesting things about them, the kind of webinars they conduct, how people's career has changed ever since they joined or they got certified and all that. And we would actually throw a little bit light on this as we go along. Now, let's look at the benefits. All right. Now that we know that you can conduct that any analytics related work when it comes to business analytics, let's look at what benefit or what value it brings to you. Number one, you position yourself to receive high salary, right? So we would all agree that we do not actually get paid for the time we spend at work. We do not just get paid for that. We actually get paid for the value we bring to the workspace. They don't only see the certification as just another title, right? They see it as sharpening your skill, making you more effective in the business space. You are not just a technical expertise. You become a problem solver, a business need identifier. You identify what the business actually needs and you recommend solutions through data. You recommend solutions through data, and they actually have the build down methodology that you should follow to make sure you become capable of doing that. And that is the service we here at Blossom Pro we are providing to you. This ideology, this process, this knowledge hub to train you and put you on top of the job market. If you're someone that you're now searching for a job, it actually gives you that credibility and a higher standing of actually entering into managerial roles. We will get into that very shortly. It gives you that advantage. And if you're already working, it makes your work so efficient. in the standard is also and the next thing we are going to talk about, it actually positions you for promotion. And we will all understand that the more you get promoted, the better the salary comes in, right? The better you actually situate yourself to earn more. The next most important thing is that m- most businesses want to, or lots of people want to just move beyond their local territory. They want to get into the international space. And one of the things that most international institution or people, or let's say employers, trust is that you are actually at level with their way of thinking. You are actually at a level with the way with the culture system, and that is what the IIBA actually provides. So it gives you what we call the global recognition and visibility, right? That is one thing I actually mentioned as I started this presentation, because they have networks around the world. You don't certify and they leave you out. It becomes like one big family, right? So you are in Ghana and you are getting connected to somebody either in the US or in Canada. They actually host webinars. I had the privilege of joining just recently this week, one webinar they actually rolled out on strategy. Now, the funny thing is that if you haven't certified and you're not a member, you don't get you're not privileged to these things. And trust, I learned a lot. It actually enhanced the way I even go about my instructor duties, the kind of strategy I have to put in place. And these things are tailored only for those that have written the certification exams and have also and are also members of the IIBA. And I'm going to get into what it means shortly. The next thing is return on investment. We right. So the thing is that yes, it demands that you pay, but the good thing is that the more you get promoted, the more you are considered for managerial roles, the more you become a lead in terms of any analytics initiative. You know that the more the salary comes in, and as the salary is coming, you are able to recoup all the investments you've made in actually getting to actually get yourself certified, right? And that is one of the key advantages um when it comes to getting certified as a business data analyst. When it comes to career advancement, there are most of us. I usually want to explain this in this direction. Every organization operates in three major levels. So we have the strategic level, the tactic, and the operational level. One one thing you find out is that most of the times people want leverage to move from the operational level to the tactic level, because that is more like the supervisory roles, right? This is where most people have the advantage to earn more, to be a part of the business, to be where their ideas and opinions actually matter within the business process. Also, people who are already in the tactical level sometimes want to move into the strategic space. This is where the managers and people who are drafting what the goal of the organization or what the direction of the institution should be actually is. And that is where getting certified positions you to actually achieve as a registered or a certified member of the International Institute of Business Analysis, right? So in terms of career growth, it's you actually push yourself or get you are made eligible for higher roles than where you are presently. The next is in terms of professional recognition. So again, going through the business data analytics is a scenario-based process. And the good thing is that it trains you to the extent that once you go up to the job market or you are in the business space or corporate world, it's you act as if you've been in there for over 10 years. Why? Because of how the training has actually been structured. It's mostly scenario based. And I'm going to walk you through shortly what it means, what I mean by that. So the next most important thing we would want to ask ourselves, who should actually go for the CBDA? I actually want to explain this in three major strands. Number one, are you someone who is seeking to be promoted? Are you someone who is actually seeking to move from whatever position you are to a more desirable space in terms of promotion? Number one, are you seeking to solve problems? Maybe you are a business owner here. You want to actually tailor your services to suit your customers more in terms of satisfaction. You want it to be like you know them, right? And you are tailoring your product or let's say your products to situate what they actually need. Are you someone who wants to attain that global recognition? If you actually have the chance of traveling to any other country, or let's say relocating to other international space, you want something that would speak of the fact that what you know actually matters and that you can be trusted with a role or a position in these countries. Then the simple answer to that is you getting certified as a business data analyst. And what do I mean by that? So people who are in the data space already. So you are somebody working with data, maybe a data analyst already, you are a data scientist, you're a data engineer, you actually work with data already. The whole idea is that how do you move from the technical space to a more strategic space, right? Where you actually front the whole analytics initiative, right? Then this course is actually tailored for you. So from the database analyst, the business intelligence analyst, quantitative analyst, developers and programmers, system analyst, customer engagement manager, data storyteller, marketing analyst, practitioners working with data, developers and programmers, right? And the next most important people are students, right? So the reason why students are also considered in this bet is because of this whole research initiative. So most students have projects that usually um, have research, right? You have to conduct research and all that. So to help you navigate this research process, to help you go through this research process with um, the required laid down methodology, this certification actually provides that leverage, right? So you do not necessarily have to be someone who has worked with data to be able to man the understanding of this course. You don't have to be a data analyst or data scientist to pass this. You might not have even worked with data before. You are all eligible to actually take the certification exams. Now, once you have built that competency, what skill are you going to gain? Right? And number one, you heard me talk about research from just the previous slide. One thing we build your skill in, your capability in, is how to identify the research question. So, data analytics is all about research. One basic foundation it has. It's all about research, looking through the data and trying to uncover patterns that is relevant to you, the business owner, that is relevant to the organization. That is the whole idea behind it. And to guide you as a map, all right, through what you need to do to actually get the best out of the data is the skills you are going to learn. So you are going to learn what it means to identify the research question. Now, the next most important thing, how to source data effectively. And that is one of the things that actually stood out to me when I was actually going through this course. Most of the times, organizations do not know how to source the relevant data to solve the problem. And it's one of the major headaches when it comes to business growth. All right. And this is one problem the certification actually empowers you to solve. What relevant data, what spaces houses the data we need to solve the problem. All right. And that is one thing we will teach you. The next most important thing is how to analyze the data. So for somebody who has a background in these analytics tools, I saw the information there to be very rich, right? It was very rich. It actually came to put context to how I analyze my data, how I analyze my data. But someone will ask, okay, I don't have any background in any analytics. I don't know Excel, I don't know Power BI, I don't know Python, I don't know any programming language. How does analyzing the data, learning how to analyze the data profit me? Number one, going through this process, you don't necessarily have to master the tools. You can actually supervise a data analyst as to what you need them to do. But maybe you do not want that. You want to actually build your capability in the analytics tool as well. This actually acts as a preceding course to help you understand the tools better. Data analytics is not about the tools. It's not entirely about it. The tools are there to enhance the process, but how to utilize them, if you know them already, it becomes easier to master them or to master a basic concept in the tools, right? So for those of us that are looking forward to build our capability when it comes to data analytics, this is a major course. It's a major course to help you do that. Then after analyzing your data, we also teach you how to interpret and report the results. This is very important. The the problem with people utilizing analysis to make decisions is how it's communicated. People don't actually have the skills to communicate the insight from the data. And this is one leverage you have. It builds your communication skill. It allows you to read the room. I always say this. There are some stakeholders or people that you are presenting to who do not understand the tool at all. They don't understand what it means by certain specific let me use the word terms we have in analytics. They don't understand it. How do you read the room? How do you read their stakeholder to understand them and bring the information to their level? This skill or this course trains you, we train you to man that space. And the most important part of this, analytics is not um, at its full capability if we don't use it to make decisions. The reason why we find out that these developed countries are moving way ahead of us is because they are utilizing their insight from the data to make effective decisions, and that is something we lack, right? Especially in the African space. Now, if you even go to these developed countries, they actually have high demand for people who actually own these skills because at the end they want to make sure the data they are using, they are making decisions based on the data. All right, good. So this is the skill you gain, or this is the skill we are going to make sure we impact it into you before you write the exams. Now, people who hold the certification, what roles do you gain, or what job opportunities do you look forward to? Right? Number one, head of any analytics initiative. You become head of any analytics initiative within the organization. So we are not just talking about just building dashboard or utilizing tools to read insights. No, you become the pioneer when it comes to uncovering what particular problem the business needs to solve. You are an entrepreneur, you are coming up, you are building your own business. How do you locate the relevant problems to solve them? Right? What is the skill? What is your strategy? What is this knowledge hub or school of thought? Or let's say, what is this again? My main word for tonight, my highlight word for tonight. Methodology are you putting in place or are you following that is going to yield you your best results? Now, before I move on to the next most important thing, is that every business wants to win. We are here to win the customer. We are here to win the customer at the end of the day. What is that extra leverage that you, as an employee, all right, you have to make sure that that vision of the organization comes to pass? And this is what we help you, Blossom Pro, here. This is what we help you attain once you certify. So the head of analytics, data strategy manager, analytics program lead, these are roles you actually end up in, right? Then we have business analyst. As a business analyst, this is one of the most in-demand jobs out there. You can actually Google it, right? The state at which the world is getting into. People want innovations. Businesses want to solve problems that matter. We want to know what our customer need before they even think about it, right? And people who are frontiering these revolutions are people who have this business analyst skill. And this is one thing we actually train you to build capacity in, or a competence in. How you report insight, right? You are a data strategist analyst among so many, right? Among so many. As a data analyst, you want to get into the data analytics field. Trust me, this is the best way to start. It gives you leverage. It gives you it maps the whole concept surrounding analytics. Good. Now, why is CBDA different? Why is it different from other certifications? Why should we even go for this? Now, you find out that most, if not 90%, most of these certifications in the data space are pioneered to, or are actually structured to teach you how to utilize the tools. Especially, they actually help you build skill in analysis. But when it comes to analytics, which is the bigger picture, analytics is beyond just the tools. We are looking at solving um, business problems. We are looking at structuring the organization to become data driven. In fact, when we talk about analytics, we are looking at culture system, the way we think as a business unit. And that is one thing the CBDA stands out like globally when it comes to global recognition. That is why they are actually on top of the game. They are top notch because they are into dealing with the whole approach. They don't just look at the two aspects. They are into looking at how to utilize or uncover business problem, uncover needs, be innovative, put down important business culture to make to actually bring value to the business. So these are some of the things you are going to learn. You are going to learn more about, and I'm going to touch base on this in our next slide. So again, I'm going to read the caption here. It focuses on analytics leadership, not just the tools. How to lead the analytics initiative. All right. Now, what we Blossom Pro are here, the service we want to provide to make sure you become a part of this elite group of people, right? What we are ready to provide for you. Number one, live instructor-led sessions. So we are going to take our time and we are going to meet, we will be there to teach you, walk you through the process on live streams, and even in person. We are going to talk about that in terms of the class structure very soon, right? And we also have learning management system access. That's the LMS, right? And the good thing about them is that you would have access to the recorded videos. You would have access to the simulation test that we are going to talk about like very soon. You would also have access to let's say, let me use the word bank of questions, right? You have loads of questions to prepare your minds to build your thinking and process around solving problems. Now, remember, I told you from the beginning, it's not just about tools, it's your ability to solve problems based on how you think. And that is what we are going to do. We are going to restructure your whole way of thinking that it makes it easier to uncover and solve problems. Now let's get into what the exams is about. What is it about? So number one is a 75 questions, and these questions are all multiple choice questions, right? So A, B, C, D, you choose the correct answer. The next most important structure of the questions is that they do not ask you definitions. They don't ask you what. Remember, I told you the whole goal is to solve problems. So they give you problems and they give you possible answers, and they ask you which solution, sorry, or which answer there is a solution to this problem. And you would have to think through it, right, to answer it. The exam is 2 hours, is a 2 hour duration. You would sit for the next 2 hours to actually solve the exam, right? And to help you make sure you are prepared to pass, not only are we giving you access to the recorded videos, but we also have um, four mock questions, each seven, let's say four mock questions. Each mock question has 75 multiple choice, right? Questions, 75, right? And to build your capacity, we have actually reduced the hours, the minutes by just a few minutes, like about 15 minutes. So they are requiring you do it in 2 hours. We are saying you are going to do it in 1 hour, 30 minutes, right? That is how confident we are about running you through the course. Is that okay? Good. Now, these are the exam tips. What areas are they going to test you on? Now, they are going to test you on the skills you are going to gain. That is what makes it easy. They are not going to ask you questions out of the skill, because the whole idea is that we need to impact them with the skill. And because we have taken our time to run you through it, they are going to ask you questions, or they are going to find problems in these skill areas. So it's not something far-fetched. It's going to be something you have learned, something we've actually built your capacity in. And once you find yourself um answering this question, it actually goes it goes um a long way to build your capacity in the real world too, right? So you're going to learn how to identify the research questions, source data, analyze, interpret, and report. You're going to use the results to influence business decision making and guide company level strategy for business analytics, right? And we are going to walk you through all that. Now, some facts about the examination. I think I might have mentioned a couple of them from the beginning, right? So these are the important ones. Number one, they don't ask you questions on any analytics tools. Remember, it is a strategic course, right? It's actually training you on how you think around a problem, right? How you think around a problem using data. Is that okay? And also, they don't talk about programming languages. We don't ask you any question about programming languages. So those of us that are scared of programming and all that, you don't have to worry at all. We don't ask you any questions on that. And also, it doesn't have any question related to big data and machine learning. All right. It doesn't have questions related to that. All right, good. Now, you've heard me saying about talking about member and being a member of IIB and all that. We'll come back to this slide and we'll come and talk about the major benefits you gain once you become a member. All right, good. Now let's talk about the money side of things, right? So let's first talk about the tuition cost. So, based on the services that we are going to provide you and build your competency in this field, the total cost is 5,000 Ghana cedis. Just 5,000 Ghana cedis, right? And out of this 5,000 Ghana cedis, you are going to pay 150 Ghana cedis out of the 5,000, right? So, like, registration together with tuition fee is 5,000 Ghana cedis. But because of how high demand is the course is and how people want to get into the space, we actually encourage people to book their seats or register, right? And the registration, you can do that now, and it's only 150 cedis. The registration is only 150 cedis, right? To just book your seats, right? So look in, I think the link to the registration, if you want to register now, the link will be actually placed in the comment section. Just click on it and um, quickly, I would walk you through how you can actually register. Is that okay? Good. So, away from that, in terms of the fee structure, all right. So, we know that most people might not have the whole 4,850 Ghana cedis upfront. So, there is a flexible payment structure to actually help out. And all you have to do is just make a 50% deposit of the actual fee. All right. You make a 50% deposit of the actual fee. And it needs to be made before the class resumes, right? And the class is actually resuming on the 13th of April. Okay. So the very first thing you can do now is just book your seats, right? Do the 150 seats like then before 13th April, all right, you can actually make your first 50% deposit. But some of us would be like, okay, I want to pay everything. We also have an option for that. If you want to pay everything outright, we also have an option for you to do that. Now, after paying the 50%, we actually spread the rest across the duration of the course. Is that okay? You're going to spread it, right? So if you want to pay weekly, right, we have that option. And if you want to actually pay monthly, we also do have that option. Good. So how is this class schedule like? Like how are we scheduling it like? Now we have in person and we have online, right? So based on your convenience, based on what is actually okay for you or what best suits you, you can choose, right? On let's say on bad days, maybe you actually selected the online class, but because of some few things, you weren't able to actually attend any of the online class, you can actually attend the in-person session. So the online classes will be actually conducted on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And per each day, we actually meet you for just 2 hours, right? I know that most of us, we would go to work, we'd be tired, and we would want to stay in for the class. We don't want to stress you. So we've actually broken it down into bits and pieces to make sure that you actually getting or making most out of it. So on Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., you would actually have access. You can actually join us online so that we do that class, right? And the in-person, right? We actually meet once in a week, and that is only on a weekend. That is on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., right? So then you have the whole week. Maybe after work, you rest. After work, you rest. Then you come and meet us here on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. All right, for an intensive class during the weekend. All right. So that is it about our class structures. Now, I want to also talk about another crucial fact. So now moving away from our tuition cost, our registration and everything, and I promise I'll come back to how you can actually register or save your seats with the 150 cities. I'll walk you through that. All right. Good. Now, when it comes to the examination, we actually would want you to become a part or a member of IIBA, right? Because being a member and taking the exams, the amount involved when you become a member is less when you're taking the exams, right? So, for example, based on the region that you are, now I'm talking to if you're in the region three, as most of us, the Africans, Africa, we would be we are in region three, okay? So if you want to become a member, you pay $60. Okay. All right. Let me move to that. If you want to become a member, you pay $60. But if you are a student, okay, you pay $40. Now, this is annual because it's more like joining an association and paying your annual dues, right? And as a member, what they do is that they send you, I think I would want to show you that quickly. The benefits you gain by becoming a member. Number one, you have actually access to their online library, over 11,000 um resources you can be reading. All right. They give it to you free of charge. If you're not a member, the list I saw for these online library books, one could cost you like $45, right? So you can imagine if one is costing me $45 and I'm actually paying $60 to become a member, then I can have lifetime access to most of these resources. And that is one benefit I actually enjoy from them. And you have access to exclusive webinars. You remember I told you from the beginning that I actually got invited to one of their exclusive webinars where I learned about strategy. They don't put it out there unless you're a member. You get access to this. You have PDFs, you have exclusive access to global and let me say that this is the top notch for me. If they are organizing any conference outside the country, like the one that they are going to organize in Poland, you have the access to attend. And the fun and the great thing too is that once you attend these webinars, you meet lots of people from around the world. You build a whole huge network, and it's actually an amazing space to be. Now, let me state, all this money you are paying is not coming to us. The the membership, the exam fee, which I'm going to talk about shortly, doesn't actually come to us. It actually goes to the international organization, right? And you deal with them with that. The only thing we will be taking is the tuition cost. Good. So quickly, let's talk about the examination fee. All right. Let's talk about the examination fee. Number one. So look, the benefit of being a member. If you're a member and you are going to take the exams, you just pay $250 for the exams. But for non-members, you pay 405. Now imagine paying $60 as a member. If you add it to 250, you're paying like $310, right? If you subtract it from what a non-member is paying, that is like very huge. You see? Good. And in case which is highly let me use it's not going to happen because of how we've situated. We've actually situated the way we are going to teach you. But in case you have to retake the exams, if you remember you are paying $195, right? Just $195. And if you're not a member, you are paying $350. Now, because we are actually on your side, one of the things we are going to encourage you to do is to become a member. And we make sure that by the end of the course, you are a member so that we will be attending their webinars. And one day, maybe when we get to meet in, let's say, Canada for one of their conferences, we can just meet, maybe have a cup of coffee and talk about our experience so far, right? And this is something I'm actually looking forward to, right? For students, they have special package for you if you want to be a member. All you have to do is just pay $40. So for now, this is what I'm going to encourage you. Two things I want you to do now, all right? If you have the time, two things. One, I'm going to ask you to reserve your seat quickly. I'm going to ask you to reserve your seat, number one. And number two, I would I would also recommend that you become a member. So after this webinar, if you want to become a member or you want us to help you actually do these two things, I am here for you 24/7. If you call me at 2 a.m., I'll wake up and help you do it. Right? This is what we want you to actually accomplish. All right, good. So quickly, let's actually walk you through how you reserve your seat. It's quite simple, right? So the very first thing I want you to do, I'm going to stop presenting my screen now. All right. So I want you to open any tab. All right. If you want to do this right now, okay, save your seat. You can go to your phone quickly. So you can pick up your phone or go to your laptop if you are joining with your laptop and anything, right? If you go into the chat, right, you would see a link there. There is a link that sends you directly to reserve your seat. So let's click on the link. Let's just click on that link right now. Let's click on that link right now. And it immediately takes you to the CBDA registration deck. All right. This takes you to the CBDA registration deck. So we are going to register together, right? Okay, we are going to register together. So the very first thing, you just input your name. All right. So my name is Francis. All right. Your last name, you input your email and your number. Okay. You input your email and your number. So once you are done, you just say pay now, right? And you give it time, it's going to load. Okay. Then it's going to ask you for the number you would want them to do the deduction on. And with just 150 cedis, your seat has actually been booked, right? For our next cohort, your seat has actually been booked. All right. So at this point, um, I think I would take questions. Or yeah, Daniel, you can if there are any things you would want to add, you can go.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Francis, for that insightful presentation. At this point, I would like to open the floor for questions. If you have a question, you can drop them in the chat box. You can raise your hand as well, and we would assist you by answering them. So we'll be taking the questions once at a time. So we are here for you. Your questions are welcome, please.
Oh, okay. Was I that good?
Okay, so Mr. David Jemfi says his worry is about the duration of the tuition. Will the 3 months be enough to be fully prepared for the exam? Please, Mr. Francis, can you assist us by answering the question for us?
Yes, David. Yes, 3 months will be enough. It will be enough to teach you feedback. It will be enough to teach you all you need to know about the course. And the good thing too is that as we go through, because you see, we've not actually packed everything together, right? So you have spaces to learn. And also, once we are done, you can, okay, let me say this, you can actually book your seat to take the exams whenever you are ready, whenever you feel ready. And that is the great thing about this IIBA exams. So after we training you for the next 3 months, all right, you have a lifetime access to all the resources you need. So if when you are done, and it's highly unlikely that you'll be done and not feel confident because of how we are going to actually run you through the whole process. And it's not like we are in a hurry to finish in the next 3 months. We are going to take our time. So it's actually adequate, David, to build you up to take the exams. Very, very.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, we are still here for some more questions. Kindly drop your questions in the chat box or raise your hand and we are we are going to answer that for you.
Okay, so if nobody is asking questions, um, please, if you understand whatever has been presented here today, just give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up quickly. Let me be sure you understand the presentation. Oh, Sylvester gets it. Prince does. Okay. So I have only two people reacting. Oh, three now. Who else? If you don't understand, you can actually ask your questions. David, please, are you okay with the answer we gave? Are you okay? Yeah.
All right. Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you all for your being attentive here and the thoughtful questions. It's been a wonderful session. Before we wrap up, I would like to remind you all that we have another info session tomorrow at 12 p.m. And we look forward to seeing you and continuing the conversation. So if you have any question you couldn't ask today, or there is something you think you need to think about, you can join us tomorrow. And during the question session, you let us know the questions that you have. So on behalf of the whole team, I would want to thank you once again for joining and have a great evening. Bye, everybody.